Welcome to the Fantasmagorium show. On today's show, CinemaCon reactions are here, and everyone who isn't there is jealous. Sony executives drop the mic on day and date releases, and Disney Plus continues recycling things that they own. Let's go.
And we are live.
Hello, sir. What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Not too much. Scotty, I was working a little bit today. I did some editing for PGS All Stars, which was cool. Made some thumbnails. Started gathering the news for our the show today. But that's about it. What about you?
I've been cleaning. It's really hot. I walked my dog, and it's laundry day. And so this is the break in my clouds. This is the cream in my coffee. So thank you.
Awesome. We, you and I hopped on an impromptu Spider-Man.
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Far from No Way Home. Kind of reaction after the trailer dropped last night. And a bunch of people came and joined us. We had a cool little discussion for about an hour. That's on the channel right now if you want to check it out. But yeah, it was that was fun. It was weird. That we'll get into it a little bit maybe, but that that was a weird trailer. I'm not sure we saw what we think we saw.
Yes,
if that makes any sense. Like we do every day, everybody, please like, share, subscribe, do all the things, hit the little bell, do all that stuff for us. Like we say every day, subscriptions are awesome, but the interaction with you guys, especially with the likes and sharing and commenting below, really helps the channel grow. So we appreciate you doing all of that. If you'd like to send in a tip with your comment or question, please do so. www.streamelements.com/phantasmagorium-show/tip. We also have a website you can peruse at your leisure. www.phantasmagoriumshow.com has our shows there, movie news, also a link to our audio-only podcast, so you can take us on the road with you. We'd love to be your traveling companion. Also on the website, you can find our shop, get our merch there, www.phantasmagoriumshow.com/shop. Pick yourself up a t-shirt or a hoodie and some other cool stuff over there. And we thank you for your patronage. That really helps the channel grow. It also gives you something tangible in return, and we think that's cool. All righty. With all the housekeeping out of the way, Scotty, shall we jump in? Do you want to talk a little bit about my shirt?
I do want to talk about your shirt.
Look how cool that
a little
shirt
bit.
is, man. So I subscribe to the Marvel box. It's a subscription through Amazon. And every 2 months, every other month or so, I get like a box with a t-shirt and a couple of pops and yes, usually a sticker or decal and a pin. Cool. So this month they delayed this one's really late because I think they were waiting for obviously for What If to drop. So we got
Captain Carter on Iron Rodgers.
Really cool. And the Iron Rodgers. So this is a cool shirt. And I got the Collector pop and a post-apocalyptic Black Widow pop. So maybe when the next time Black Phillip Alvarez does an unboxing, I'll open everything up and we can do that on his channel. But yeah, so that was good. Also, let's talk a little bit about what we did last night with our Spider-Man reaction. They're calling it a teaser trailer, right? Yes. But it was a very long teaser. I can't remember exactly how long it was, but it was almost 2 minutes at least, right?
I think it was about 3 minutes. Yeah,
it was long. So, what were your initial reactions?
I'm kind of lukewarm about it. I haven't been that big of a fan of the Home series, Homecoming, Far From Home, and now with No Way Home. I'm kind of tepid on it, and it kind of clicked for me as to why last night watching that trailer, I was like, hang on a second. This is our third movie in our seventh appearance of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Where's Uncle Ben? I need Uncle Ben in my Spider-Man mythology, and that's the thing that I'm sort of taken by. And the plot of the movie looks interesting in terms of fan service and references. It's a Marvel movie. Obviously, you're going to get that. And the teases of the past Spider-Man franchises, the most obvious being the Pumpkin Bomb and Willem Dafoe's laugh as the Green Goblin. And then you have Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. People said that they saw swirling sand and electricity. So Electro is in the flick, as Jamie Foxx has confirmed. But overall, I will see it because I love the Raimi trilogy of Spider-Man movies. We'll see how they incorporate. Well, Jamie Foxx is in it, so there is some incorporation from the Amazing Spider-Man trailer. But I'm, 6 out of 10. I'll see it, but it's nothing. It's nothing that I'm doing backflips over.
I'm with you. I'm right there. 5.5, 6 out of 10. I think I gave it 6 last night when we gave our ratings. First of all, I'm of the impression that what we saw between the interaction between Peter Parker and Stephen Strange is not what we're led to. I think it's a misdirect. I think it's not what we're led to believe in the trailer, because for so many reasons. But that's not Doctor Strange. He doesn't act like that. So that's completely out of character. Just the whole thing was off-putting to me. I'm like, wait, what is this? Right. So for some of the reasons you mentioned, and that interaction in particular, I was just like, and I haven't been the biggest fan of these Spider-Mans. I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I really do. I think he's a good one. I like the first movie. I didn't care for the second movie. And I'm hoping that this one comes, is more like the first one in the way it makes lands for me, and not more like the second one the way it lands for me, because I'm really looking forward to Fantastic Four, and John Watts has control of that film, and I need him to hit it out of the park with this one so I can feel comfortable about what we're going to get with Fantastic Four. Go ahead.
Oh, I agree. And yesterday was the first time that I'd really heard, or at least it had finally clicked with me that John Watts is going to be the man in charge of Fantastic Four. Waiting for casting, but I would like to see a true to the Fantastic Four movie. And so far, I guess one of the things that's just sort of been needling me, and it's the splinter in my brain, is that this Spider-Man just is lacking some Spider-Man things to make me really invested in it. So I was kind of hoping that this movie wouldn't be as fantastical as kind of the last one with Mysterio and that kind of stuff. I was hoping that it would be more the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. One of the things I did like most about the trailer I told you guys last night was the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man music incorporated into the soundtrack. Now, I don't know if that's actually going to make it into the movie. It may just be for the trailers, but I hope it does, because I always like that. But I would much rather, I want to see a more grounded kind of, neighborhood villain Spider-Man movie. And maybe it's just not going to happen in the MCU right now because of the grandeur that is the MCU and things that they have to try to set up. But I was hoping they would come home and be a street level Spider-Man movie. But I don't think that's what we're getting here. Go ahead. No, I'm just agreeing with you. Absolutely.
So there's that. I did think that in the trailer, what was I going to say about that? Oh God, it just left me. Okay.
Oh, no.
We can come back to it. Bummer. I had a point and I was going to make it, but it went later.
Happens to me all the time. That's fine.
Getting old, buddy. I'm getting old. So we do have a bunch of news today, mostly from Comic-Con. Obviously,
CinemaCon.
I'm sorry, from CinemaCon, because CinemaCon's going on right now. It's where all the news is kind of coming from at the moment, and we have a bunch of it today. But off the top, and something that happened actually today at CinemaCon is, and MGM shows No Time to Die footage, not for the public. As far as I know, it hasn't dropped as of yet.
Mm-hmm.
But they did show extended footage, I heard, at the con. So, what do you think about that, buddy? I know you're the big Bond guy here.
It gives me hope that it's actually real.
Yeah, like it's actually going to release.
I've been resigned to the fact that they made a trailer and that's it. But no, that's great. I haven't heard any of the responses to the No Time to Die footage. There are other things that were shown last night that got glowing reviews. We'll talk about that.
We're going to get to that. Yeah.
But I'm glad that MGM is showing. Apparently, it's the first time in several years that MGM has been to CinemaCon, and right now, because it is for exhibitors, they do have to blow these exhibitors away in terms of what they're going to be investing or trying to promote. So good. I'm glad we're still pushing forward. Every drop about No Time to Die in the bucket of yes, it's coming on the release date is just music to my ears, and I can't wait to be sitting in a seat and the lights to go down.
So, kind of speaking on that, yesterday it was the big Sony panel, right, where they basically blocked out a 3 hour block of time from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And according to I saw a little bit of John Campia's reaction last night, and he said, they were kind of going through the movies, their slate that they were presenting pretty quick, and he was like, wait, we got like over 2 hours left and we're almost done. And that's when he said, I think it might have been the director, but I'm not sure if it was either the president of Sony or the director of Ghostbusters Afterlife was on stage talking about, okay, you're going to see some spoilery stuff. Don't spoil anything because we're going to show you the movie. Mm-hmm. And the lights went down. They showed the movie right there. That's cool. Can you imagine being there? That would have been awesome.
No, I cannot imagine. That would blow my mind, and I would be so happy just to have traveled to it.
Hopefully, maybe next year we'll get invitations to CinemaCon. We'll go, but that's fingers crossed. Ghostbusters Afterlife first reactions are out.
It is official. Ghostbusters Afterlife has screened for some critics, and the first reactions to the long-awaited sequel have started to hit social media from people who have actually seen the movie. After screening at CinemaCon last night, a handful of select members of the press and industry insiders took to Twitter to declare the movie a success, bursting with Easter eggs and heart. Reactions varied, with some saying it was good and others saying it was great. Good movie or the greatest movie ever? They also varied somewhat on what the best part was, the humor or the heartwarming character stuff. In any case, it seems like a good sign for a franchise that has been in limbo.
Yeah, definitely. Look, everybody knows. I think it was the 2016. Yes. Was it 2016 that the reboot happened, and that just failed miserably? And I think everybody was just kind of holding their breath, waiting to see what was next. So I heard the same things, that it varied from good, solid movie to this is great, and I guess it's probably going to land on you as, and it's going to vary with your level of love for this franchise. Right. So if you're a super fan, it's probably going to get you in the feels and pull all the nostalgia strings on you, which is cool. And I hope that does that. It sounds like it. Look, when we showed the trailer here on the show, I said, man, just the look of the film looks cool. It looks old school. It looks like a Poltergeist movie, that kind of Spielbergian look back in the 80s, right? So that got me excited. I'm like, okay, it doesn't look like it was shot in this new, I don't know what, the new modern kind of format, right? It was, it looked to me like it was shot back then, which I loved. I really appreciated that style. So I'm like, you know what? And then, after, I'm not the biggest Ghostbusters fan, but I do want to see this movie. I think the movie looked good. It does look a little cheesy in parts. It's probably supposed to be. I think that's on purpose. But I did hear that there's a lot of heart in this movie. A lot more. In fact, Aaron Cummings, who was on with John yesterday, said that she was crying, brought her to tears in the theater, which was cool. She's, but as an actress, their emotions are usually right up here, right up front. So it's not a huge stretch, but still, you know what I mean? That's cool. It's cool that it elicits that kind of reaction, and emotion.
Well, and not only that, not just to sort of jump into the emotional pool of, yes, it's good, but also the confidence that Sony has in it to be able to show the whole movie and say, don't worry, don't tell anybody, but we have something amazing for you guys to see. And it turns out to be that way.
Yeah.
There's obviously there's a review embargo, but it's obviously, it's not something that they're trying to shelter away to keep from the light so that people don't automatically start crapping all over it.
Right. Yeah. So they were confident enough in the film to show it, which is good. Especially to a room full of movie critics. So, because I don't think they signed any agreements upon entering. So that's bold, because they could actually go out without fear of too much reprisal and say and give a review. So I don't know.
And I have faith in Jason Reitman. I like him as a director, and as you mentioned, it just feels like a tangible movie. Like it doesn't look like it's sort of pressed, packaged, and shipped out the gate in a CGI cacophony of bad jokes.
Sure.
So this, I have hope. I have hope. That's what this feeling is.
Yeah. So another movie that got huge buzz, or getting huge buzz from day one of CinemaCon, is Bullet Train. So was Brad Pitt, Bad Bunny slap each other around in sleek first look at Bullet Train.
Bullet Train went off with a bang at CinemaCon in Las Vegas on Monday. The first ever footage from the Brad Pitt action thriller was screened at the annual convention of movie theater owners during an opening night presentation for Sony Pictures. Directed by Atomic Blonde helmer David Leitch, the movie follows 5 assassins on a high-speed train who realize their assigned targets are related. The footage boasts the aesthetic we've come to expect from Leitch, high-contrast glamour with bare-knuckle violence. Sold. Anyone thinking this was Pitt's attempt to slip into a Tom Ford suit and brandish a gun like a typical leading man, rest easy. His character, listed only as Ladybug, is a drifter rocking hiking boots and a faded tweed coat on Leitch's gorgeous claustrophobic train. While the ensemble boasts stars like Sandra Bullock, the studio chose to bless the exhibitors with a clip of Pitt and global hip-hop star Bad Bunny. In his first substantive feature film role, the artist, also known as Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, is a formidable opponent for Pitt.
Yeah, so this one's getting huge buzz with everybody that I saw either on YouTube or Twitter saying it's now one of their most anticipated movies. I really want to see this movie. So the footage must have been really good.
Well, I really enjoyed Atomic Blonde. I've always been a fan of movies on trains. I know that's a weird subgenre to get into, but Snowpiercer, Narrow Margin with Gene Hackman. I don't know why, but that's the one I'm just like, do it.
Do it.
And so, Assassins on a Train and directed by David Leitch. Okay, sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Will do.
Totally. What's next?
New Uncharted movie footage shown, but not publicly.
That's right. While the upcoming Uncharted movie is currently set to release in theaters on February 18th, 2022, Sony Pictures Entertainment has yet to release a proper teaser, let alone trailer, but it appears that the company did show off some footage during a dialogue at CinemaCon this week. Unfortunately, it would appear that the footage has not been made available to the public as of yet, if it ever will be. And just as an aside, a lot of times when they show these things to theater owners, they never do become public. So if you're banging your fist against the against the desk and saying, when are you going to drop this, they probably won't. It's just for them. But so that's kind of how that is.
Mhm.
But thankfully, there are descriptions online from those lucky few able to glimpse at Tom Holland as Nathan Drake and Mark Wahlberg as Victor Sully Sullivan in action. According to Screen Rant's Graham Gutman, a few brief sequences were shown at CinemaCon and included one with Nathan Drake entering a cave-like area. Additionally, another sequence showed Wahlberg's Sully saying, "I'm offering you a chance to discover things you've already read about, or you only read about." My fault. Sorry about that. The big sequence that was shown at CinemaCon appears to be from a major action sequence where Nathan Drake is seen falling out of a cargo plane and some of the cargo's falling out with him. While the reel ended with Sully at an auction of some kind, it doesn't sound like the most thrilling of sequences, but it's better than nothing. Yes, it is.
It is. Well, as we say, every time a video game movie comes out, maybe this will be the good one.
Maybe. I mean, everybody's pinning their hopes on that one, I'm sure. I've actually been looking forward to this one just because I believe that the Uncharted game actually lends itself to a story, to a movie. But I don't know. We'll see. We're just going to have to see. You have to with these kind of video game adaptations, they are a wait and see if this is going to be good because like I keep saying, the only one that I've liked so far out of the plethora of video game movie adaptations has been the Tomb Raider with Alicia Vikander. I think that was an okay movie. It was actually a pretty solid movie. It didn't light the world on fire, nor would I say, you have to run out and see this movie tomorrow because it's the most amazing thing ever. But it was a solid video game adaptation. I'm hoping that Uncharted follows that and pluses up several levels because that would be awesome. I like Tom Holland. I like Mark Wahlberg. The story's cool, so let's see, what they can do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't mean to imply that there haven't been any good ones. It's just when the new one comes out, the stereotype of Super Mario Brothers pops to mind. But yeah, there's been Resident Evil and there have been the Tomb Raider movies. And so there have been, moderate successes in video game adaptations. And I do agree with you, this with Uncharted, it lends itself to good narrative structure and being an exciting action movie. From what I'm an Xbox guy. I never had a PlayStation with an Uncharted game on it. But it always looked, when I've watched playthroughs or play-alongs, it always looks like a quick time event button masher. So maybe this will be the pleasure of playing Uncharted without actually having to hold a controller.
For me, not being a gamer, I really want these to work because I really enjoy watching the cutscenes when people edit those together. These videos. The Spider-Man one was awesome. Injustice is an awesome cutscene. Battlefront 2 was a cool cutscene. So all those kind of things are cool to watch. So if you can basically take that or the guts of that and make a movie out of it, I'm down with that. And I want them to be good. So hopefully this will kick off a bunch in a row, that'll be good. But it's just, like I said, it's a wait and see kind of thing with these, unfortunately.
Well, and everybody wants a franchise, so.
Yeah, everybody does. Speaking of franchises, this is not speaking of franchises, but it might be a franchise in a little way. Sony executives slam hybrid releases as devastating for the film industry. Tom Rothman draws connection between Free Guy success and theatrical exclusivity. Go effing figure, he says.
Oh, I want to swear. Oh, I get to. It will. When I get to the bottom of the copy, there's a swear. Yep. CinemaCon opened with a bang in Las Vegas Monday night as Sony executives used their spot as the convention's first presenters to decry day-and-date releases as devastating to the film industry, while doubling down on their commitment to an exclusive theatrical window, according to multiple reports from journalists in attendance. The subtext was clear. Sony is an outlier among major studios. It's the only one without its own streaming service and the only one that has not used the pandemic as an excuse to premiere films in theaters and for at-home viewing on the same date. A move that his a move that has drawn ire from theatrical exhibitors. But Sony Pictures chairman Tom Rothman put an even finer point on it when he congratulated 20th Century's Free Guy on its box office performance, citing two reasons. Number one, it's terrific. And number two, you can't watch it at home. Go fucking figure.
Right? So, and Sony...
Mic drop. Mic drop.
Right. Totally mic drop. And they don't say it in this article, but it's been reported several times and by people that I trust that they committed to not having day and date. They said, as long as we're we make movies for the theaters. So as long as Sony's in the business of making movies, they will be in a theater and will not be day and date releases on any streaming service. So that obviously pleased everybody in that crowd, right? Well, because that's their business. But yeah, so that's cool.
And I wish I could even add to that, but that final sentence of that, just says everything. It's like, you can't watch it at home. So yeah, the box office numbers went up. What do you want? A slide rule? Right. Shall I draw you a picture?
Right. It's basic fucking math, yo. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. I mean, look, they're not wrong. He's not wrong. He's absolutely right. And they need to stop. And Warner Brothers should take my advice and reassess, say, okay, we've reassessed, and all of our remaining slate for this year is going to have at least a 30-day theatrical window.
Yes.
But they won't.
No, well, maybe they watch this channel.
I'm sure they do.
I'm sure they do.
What's next?
Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista are officially making their buddy cop movie.
That's right. Last week, Dave Bautista took to Twitter to suggest that he and Aquaman star Jason Momoa should star in Lethal Weapon style buddy cop movie together. I don't know why that's funny to me, but it's funny. The internet understandably went wild over the idea. Well, as it turns out, the idea isn't just some random thought that Bautista let float out into the world. He and Momoa are actually developing a buddy cop comedy together. According to Momoa, the project is already moving forward. Momoa appeared on the Late Late Show on Monday night to talk with host James Corden. Not a fan, sorry.
No, I can tell that was dripping.
Right, and his various projects, including Netflix's Sweet Girl and the upcoming second season of C on Apple Plus, which also happens to star Bautista. Probably where they got the idea. When Corden brought up Bautista's tweet, Momoa explained that his C and Dune co-star actually texted him about the idea and that they're currently working on putting the whole thing together. He literally texted me 4 days ago going, "We need to do a buddy cop film," Momoa told Corden. "We love each other. We're on C and Dune together." And I said, "Absolutely." And he said, "Let's do it in Hawaii." And I said, "Let's do it. I have an idea." So it's off to the races now. We're doing it. Not only is the movie actually happening, but it's going to be filmed in Hawaii, an idea that both Momoa and Bautista are certainly excited about. He went on to joke about how the film sells itself and that he and Bautista are a perfect pair to work together on this sort of endeavor. Yes. So I can't really remember the last really good buddy cop movie I saw. Can you?
The Last Boy Scout.
Wow, yeah, that's going back a ways.
That is,
right?
Yeah. No, I'm trying to think of one that was recently. Oh, not buddy cop, but
The Good Guys. But
yeah, is that the one with Ryan Gosling?
Yeah,
and yeah,
I like that one. That one's good. It's kind of I don't know if it's a buddy cop, but it's it's kind of like that. Yeah.
Then also. Yeah, no, it's been a while since I've seen one. I hope it does, and in the manner that they're suggesting, sort of a Lethal Weapon style. Yeah, something funny, but something with edge. I think would be good.
Hopefully it has edge because I mean those easily just fall into the straight up comedy, route, and then those usually don't land for me. So I hope it is a little more edgy, kind of like a Lethal Weapon. That would appeal to me, but they do say comedy.
Yes,
we'll see what happens there and how that develops. But I thought that was that was cool and funny.
Yeah. What's next going on today, sir?
Brandon Routh cast in Netflix Magic the Gathering animated series.
Superman himself will star
Yes.
in the upcoming Magic the Gathering animated series. Wizards of the Coast announced that the Brandon Routh
Right.
will voice Gideon Jura in the upcoming Netflix series, which will come out in the second half of 2022. The animated series will be a completely new series, but will feature many well-known Magic the Gathering characters, such as Gideon and Jace Beleren. You can check out a first look of Gideon from the animated series on Twitter if you go to at @wizards_magic.
That's right. I put this in here. I wasn't a huge Magic the Gathering player, but I for a while back in the 90s, I did collect some decks and started messing around a little bit. So yeah, it's interesting. This series, even this animated series, interests me anyways. I just think it's going to be cool. I always like the world of Magic the Gathering, so I'm hoping to get hoping this is good. Second half of 2022. That's basically that's a year from now. So we're good to go there. Any interest in Magic the Gathering or this series?
Nope.
Zero. Okay. Moving on.
If anybody in the chat wants to tell us why or how you're looking forward to it, I'd love to hear about your guys' passions and whether or not you're looking forward to this. I'm honestly not familiar with it. It's not that I'm angry or negative towards it.
No,
I just have no frame of reference.
Right. And it's fantasy, and that's not Scott's bailiwick. Although we're pulling him in.
I am becoming fantasy curious.
Yes, right.
Ava DuVernay shares new look at DC's Naomi as filming begins.
The DC universe is set to grow in a major way next year when the new series Naomi launches on the CW. The live-action series will adapt the story of fan-favorite DC Comics character of the same name. And after it's given a series order by the CW earlier this summer, fans have been curious to see what exactly it will bring. A new post from Ava DuVernay, who is writing and executive producing the series, provides the latest inkling yet. Yeah, okay, that's weird. With a look at the series slate and the comic accurate logo, as well as confirmation that the series is filming once again after filming the pilot earlier this year. And I do have, if I can bring it up really quick, I have that picture for us.
Amazing.
Look at that. I mean, doesn't that just make your whole afternoon? Come on. Okay, maybe not. But
but
it's cool.
Van Wilder.
It's cool that it's happening. Yeah, I have.
And so the only thing I can think of is whenever I see the name Naomi is that it's Imone backwards.
Yeah, right. Right. Yes. I'm not familiar with this DC character. Obviously, Ava DuVernay is a huge comic book girl. That's no secret. She loves comic books. She wants to do comic book movies. She's working on a comic book movie for DC. So it kind of seems like a natural fit for her to do a live action series. So yay, I guess.
Yeah.
And yay for them starting to film, and we'll see how it is. I haven't been too keen on the CW stuff as of late, except for the new Superman stuff, which is amazing.
Yes.
The Superman and Lois thing is really good. Yeah. So if she's going to bring that kind of, bring me back into the fold there with Naomi being that good, then okay, I'm down. Next.
Yeah, Viacom CBS mulls sale of CBS Studio Center, the network's Radford lot headquarters.
Oh, I think. Oh, yeah. Okay. Viacom CBS sells off its iconic real estate properties. May next thing. Oh, wait.
Oh,
did I totally read that wrong?
Viacom CBS's sell-off of its iconic real estate properties may next include the CBS Studio Center, popularly known as the CBS Radford lot in Studio City. In a memo to staffers, CBS CEO George Cheeks confirmed that it had hired commercial real estate firm JLL to explore a potential sale of the Radford campus. The news comes following last week's sale of CBS's iconic New York headquarters, the Black Rock skyscraper, for $760 million to real estate investment firm Harbor Group International. In Los Angeles, CBS Corp sold its similarly iconic Television City property in the Fairfax district to real estate investment company Hackman Capital Partners for $750 million in 2018. CBS's entertainment division has long been based out of Television City, but moved out to the Radford lot in 2008. KCBS, which had been based at Columbia Square, and KCAL, which moved in with KCBS when the stations became a duopoly, decamped for the Radford lot in 2007. In recent years, CBS Radford expanded and built new structures, including its CBS television facilities, to handle the addition of the TV stations, the entertainment division, and the addition of shows such as Entertainment Tonight.
This is an interesting little tidbit I put in here because, it's, I don't know what's going on with Viacom, but it looks like they're selling properties. I don't know. I don't know what this is going to amount to, and if they're actually seeing a huge drop in revenue, and if this may be some kind of way to mitigate that loss. And it may have a lot to do with the pandemic, and kind of downsizing a bit and trying to figure that out. But I thought it was a kind of an interesting story, so I threw it in there. Sorry, I muffed that first sentence. I totally misread that.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Thanks for the save, dude.
It's okay. It's okay. Punctuation is always, that was a lot of acronyms though.
Yeah.
Anyway, NBC Plus. I just got through all those and forget it. Let's just edit that out. So Disney Plus announces 3 new shows, including Captain Nemo Origin Series.
Yeah, during the Edinburgh TV Festival, Disney Plus announced 3 new shows they're developing for the streaming service, including one with deep ties to a legacy title from the Disney Vault. Among these is Nautilus, a live-action drama based on the Jules Verne novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and focusing on the character of Captain Nemo and his submarine. Moon River TV's Xavier Marchand and Steven Stories.
7 stories.
My fault. 7 stories. Cool. Anand Tucker developed and will produce the series, which has James Dormer, Beowulf, attached to write and executive produce. According to Deadline, production will begin in early 2022. The official description for Nautilus reads, Nemo is an Indian prince robbed of his birthright and family, a prisoner of the East India Company, and a man bent on revenge against the forces which have taken everything from him. But once he sets sail with his ragtag crew on board the awe-inspiring Nautilus, he not only battles with his enemy, he also discovers a magical water world. Jules Verne's story is a beloved classic all around the world. Joanna Devereaux, director of scripted original content for EMEA at Disney Plus, said in a statement, "It's a huge privilege to bring the Nautilus and her crew to life again in such a bold, exciting way. With a diverse team of creative talent and on-screen characters, the series will be breathtaking, action-packed, and a huge amount of fun." There are 2 others we're not going to go into. This one was really the one, unless you want to, Scotty, the one that I was focused on the most, because it seemed like to me, the most exciting. Let's see, the other, there's a couple other ones that they're just regular run-of-the-mill Disney fare, but
the Nautilus season starring Rosa Salazar. And I do enjoy her work.
Yes.
I don't know what the other
Culprits.
Culprits.
Yeah. So Culprits is described as a dark comic heist series. So that one didn't really spark much interest in me either. But yeah, so we'll see that. Anyways, that's the news for today, Scott.
All right.
Cool.
That's amazing.
A lot of news, a lot of stuff out of Comic-Con, or CinemaCon. I got to get my cons straight there. But there was a bunch of news, and because that runs, I think till Thursday, we'll keep you guys updated. We're gonna get a lot of news. There was a bunch of news coming out today. There'll be more news, tonight, tomorrow, for sure.
Well, and it was a bang out of the gate, as many of the authors of articles had said, in terms of CinemaCon, with last night showing, like the Ghostbusters reaction is fantastic, and getting the Spider-Man Far or No Way Home trailer sort of, I almost feel like out of the way.
Right. Yes.
Just release it so people stop asking about it.
Well, fans were going rabid over this thing. I don't know why they were. It was such a thing, but and then when it came out, then I was like, oh, I was completely underwhelmed. I'm like, oh boy, but a lot of people seem to love it, and they just like that style, kind of goofy. Well, I don't know what the hell it was, but
again, and I think it was the tease and the character dynamics between the core Spider-Man MCU cast is good, like with Zendaya and Tom Holland and the guy who plays Ned. The guy who plays Flash Thompson. I enjoy the cast. It's just something about it. I appreciate what they were going for in Homecoming, because it was sort of MCU's Breakfast Club kind of vibe that the director was going for, and I enjoyed
John Hughes,
and I enjoyed that. But then by the time we got to Far From Home, I've only seen 1.5 of these movies. I have not finished Far From Home because it just was, there was a dark cloud of Tony Stark over the entire movie, and I know that's what the intention of the movie was, but I was like, no. And it wasn't until I saw the trailer last night that I was like, okay, he's going to fix everything that happened by Mysterio's hand at the end of Far From Home, but he's not going to try and change the past that had the death of Uncle Ben, if Uncle Ben even exists. And so it is strayed a little too far off of the path. And I know that the MCU doesn't necessarily have to hold the original comics as this is what we do, but there are certain things that I have to have.
Yeah, apparently they're using the Tony Stark character as a replacement for the Uncle Ben character, right?
Yes, and in which case the entire timeline of Spider-Man's great power and responsibility doesn't make sense, because so I don't get it.
I don't either.
I loved Spider-Man when I was younger, and I'm going to see this movie, but most of my excitement for it is because it is referential to the previous franchises, which I hold in high regard. You want to see a street level Spider-Man movie? I would recommend Spider-Man 2. It is amazing. But
it does look, so I remembered what I was trying to remember when we were talking about this earlier at the top of the show. Obviously, that's Matt Murdock. In court, the lawyer's Matt Murdock. So I don't know who's playing. There's been rumors that it is Charlie Cox, but I don't know. We'll have to see. They didn't. I don't think they showed the face. If they did, I missed it. But we'll have to see if it's actually Charlie Cox playing Matt Murdock, because that'd be cool. And a good way to bring Daredevil into the MCU if they want. If they, at least the Matt Murdock character. All right, should we go see what's going on with the chat?
Absolutely.
All right. No super chats, no super stickers today. So let's go see what these guys are saying in the live chat.
The Richard is here. Aloha, Fantasmagorium nuts. Don't you want a Fanta? Don't you want a Fantasmagorium show? You can't mess with the lyrics. I can't.
I know, right?
Thank you, the Richard. I apologize for stumbling all over your copy.
Yeah.
Turge says, ahoy, Turge. The Richard putting the fan is Phantasmagorium.
That's right.
PJ, maybe. Hey, you guys. Hey, PJ, what's going on, sir? I still love your Judge Dredd helmet. Turge says, make a dent in their little bell. You know what to do. Absolutely. Thank you, Turge. Share. Get your friends and family to know how to pronounce Phantasmagorium.
Yeah, that's right.
The Richard says, I'd say you are not incorrect, Turge, though I prefer to put the gore in Phantasmagorium. Ooh,
yes.
I do like that. Says, hello, everyone. Hello. Turge says to hello there and welcome to the show. Always a treat to see you. It is a treat to see you. PJ maybe says to Turge, laugh out loud, no worries, Scotty knows my ugly mug. It's true, I do, and I don't find it ugly. I find it an acquired taste, but I enjoy it greatly. Turge says regarding the Spider-Man trailer, I hope this movie does not fall into the error of past movies, at times having too many villains. Other than that, I'm looking forward to it, albeit with some hesitation.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. I'm looking forward. I'm going to watch it. It's a Marvel film. It's a Spider-Man movie. I'm going to see it. My excitement when teaser trailers and trailers drop, it's supposed to take your excitement level and bump it up a few notches. It did not do that for me. In fact, I'm more worried about the movie now that I've seen the teaser, which that's not supposed to be. That's not the intended result, I'm sure.
No, and there's something about Doctor Strange. He did not look right. Anyway.
And he didn't act right. So that whole thing is out of character and stupid, really.
But
we didn't see it in context. I got to see it in context.
Got to see the whole thing before we can start poking holes.
That's right.
Turge says, is this iteration of Spider-Man never going to grow up and be his own man? Spider super dude? Does he always need someone holding his little sticky hand?
I hope so. I was hoping that we'd see that develop over these three movies, and we didn't. He's Iron Man Jr. for the first two movies. Now I guess he's Doctor Strange Jr. I don't know. I don't like it. I hope that they move away from that. He doesn't always, mentors are cool, but he doesn't need his handheld.
No, I agree with you. And sometimes having those references, like when the Human Torch shows up in a Spider-Man comic, it's not for half of the comic. It's for 4 panels. And they have a brief conversation and then they move on to the rest of the story. And so, but in terms of the having too many villains, I don't think that we can avoid that one. There are going to be a lot of villains.
Yes.
The Richard says to Turge, I'd like to suggest and guest if you decide to do any Takashi Miike films, Ichi the Killer, Audition, or Happiness of the Katakuris.
By the way, cool. Happy birthday, Takashi.
Oh, and absolutely, yes. You did post that in the Facebook group. So happy birthday, Takashi Miike. Who else is clamoring at our doors?
Kind of going through people talking back and forth. I know.
I'm glad. That's fantastic.
That's
good. Pete Dencott. Hello, Pete. Regarding Ghostbusters, I think the feel you're looking for is that it looks filmed in Panavision. Is that?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that might be it. But I think even more than that is the color grading. But yeah.
So, Turge says, I can't wait to see Ghostbusters Afterlife. If I could choose to see only one movie this year, it would be that one. If I should succumb to death before it comes out, I'm going to haunt a theater.
There you go.
Really? Okay. Hey, I'm not going to knock it. If that's your movie of choice for the year, then praise you. The Richard says, cool dog, not seen Terraformers yet. Let's message later, perhaps do a night of Miike films on your cult film show. Insert link here.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
And we might as well, Scotty, if you wouldn't mind plugging our shows while I scan through the chat.
Absolutely. Heavens, I'm remiss. Well, let's start with Turge's Cult Cinema Corner, Cult Movie Corner. Pardon me. I always trip over Turge's title. It's not my fault.
Classic Movie Corner.
Cult Classic Movie Corner. Yes. And we're really looking forward to this Thursday's show, which is going to be revolving around Howard the Duck and the director of the new upcoming Howard the Doc, a documentary about the phenomenon and film that is Howard the Duck. And if you find that the Phantasmagorium show is a little late on Thursday, it's because Turget is holding down the fort with Howard.
Yep.
So that is amazing. Also, tomorrow night, Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern, we have Martinis, Gadgets, and Guns. Catherine and I count down to No Time to Die with our fingers crossed, hoping that that is going to be released when they say. This week, we are discussing our favorite Bond women, and we are also going to be reviewing Thunderball. And going over the retrospective of that particular Connery fest. And then also on Monday nights, we do have Set to Stun, where myself and Chandra and Steve, we talk about Star Trek, because the internet needs more Star Trek. Yep. And next week, we'll be doing the 3rd episode of the 2nd season of Lower Decks. And we've already covered the first 2. You should come check that out. They are all on the Phantasmagorium Show channel in their playlists.
Yeah, if you missed last night's episode, check it out. It's there now.
It is really. I had a blast.
Yeah, it was fun.
The Richard says, I'm very excited about the forthcoming Ghostbusters, and Bullet Train sounds bad effing ass. It does. It does. I am looking forward to that. Pete Dencott says, The Clairvoyant starring Claude Rains has a train theme. Oh, and I love Claude Rains. Thank you, Pete. Outstanding. The Richard loves tentacles.
Yeah, you got to make sure you spell that right every time, too, right? Because that can get slippery.
It can. Tentacles can get slippery.
Let's see. What's next?
The curating.
Yeah.
The Richard says, I have a polar opposite point of view on what others call crappy video game films. That's another show on its own. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Focusing on some video game cinema. Turget says, I have not played the Uncharted games, so to me, this is just another movie. Always hoping it will be kick-ass. Yeah.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah. Actually, my favorite Uncharted movie is when they had Harrison Ford play, I think, Uncharted 3. There was a little promotion for that came up, and he played it, and it was...
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was referential to Indiana Jones, and it was kind of... It was kind of funny. He was, because obviously Harrison Ford's not much of a gamer.
Sure.
But him being sort of taken aback by the graphics and the controls and being like, this is insane. This is like a movie on the fly. And it's like, yes, boomer.
Yeah, right. Yeah, whatever.
Turget says, fudge COVID, man. I was going to go see Canadian rock band Saga, but they postponed their tour till next year. Know of them, Scotty R37? I have heard of Saga, but they're no April Wine. That's all I know.
Yeah.
The Richard says Hot Fuzz. I like Hot Fuzz. And The Nice Guys. Yes.
Nice Guys. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Hot Fuzz being a buddy cop movie.
Buddy cop.
And that amazing. Absolutely. The Richard says just thing off the top. Yeah, absolutely. The Richard says I want to be a cop. Wasn't that one? It was funny.
I want to be a cop. Oh, yeah, that one, I missed that one. I was like, oh, that didn't look good at all.
Or what? Was it Let's Be Cops?
I think that's what it was. Let's Be Cops. Yeah.
Oh, what about Cop Out?
Yeah, I haven't seen did I see that one?
I mean,
no, I don't think I saw
that was Kevin Smith's Bruce Willis horror story.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Turget says, used to play the card game when I was younger, but could not care less about a movie or series based on it.
Yeah, see, I'm actually looking forward to it, but we'll see. I just started watching The Witcher movie, the animated movie that just dropped on Netflix. Hoping to finish that up this week, but that one looks good too.
Turget says, buddy cop film that gets too little recognition, French movie Wasabi with Jean Reno. I'm familiar with Wasabi, and yeah, you're absolutely right. That is
Wasabi's a good movie.
Yeah. The Richard says, I have a full box of Magic the Gathering cards that are likely worth over $1,000, considering I just sold 38 Pokemon cards for $350. I've got a few treasures hidden here from my collectibles shop. You have the warehouse from the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, Richard.
I remember I used to like the Petulance card. It was a pretty dope card.
PJ Maybe says Magic the Gathering has gone woke. The show will be bad.
Maybe. I don't know.
Has it gone woke? Oh,
I don't see how it could have, but maybe.
I think that they did something in terms of the rearrange. They took away some cards because they were offensive.
Oh, did they?
I remember seeing something about that. So, PJ, maybe if that is the case,
they need to stop doing that nonsense. It's silly.
Yeah. The Richard says, correction, I have a full crate of Magic the Gathering cards.
I always harken back to the fact that you do not have the right to not be offended. And people need to realize that. You don't have the right to not be offended. You definitely don't have it in this country. So fucking suck it up and deal with it. That's the way. It's so offensive. You know what? You know what offends me? The fact that people like that walk around and breathe the same air as me. But I'm not trying to cancel them. I'm not trying to make them stay in their house and shut their mouths. We can all be grown-ups. We can all, Jesus Christ, grow up.
Well, and I thought it was
rant over
tastes. And sometimes when you're not offended by a joke and you see someone else be offended by the joke, them being offended is just as funny as the joke itself, making it the squared humor where you have just that much more fun. And so, yeah, I don't remember the last time I was offended by anything that wasn't trying to not offend me. It just, you take it away and then I'm offended because you've limited my exposure to things. And so that's
bad. And that's what we're doing now. And it's horrible. It's the dumbing down of the world.
Pepe Le Pew cannot be in this movie, but we will have droogs. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Dumb. The Richard correction. I have a, I think, full crate of MTG cards. Okay. Good for you.
The Richard says I have zero interest in the Magic the Gathering shows, and yeah. PJ Maybe says to the Richard, agree. I have a shitload of cards, too many, my wife has said, and the show will be meh if we are lucky.
Yeah, that sucks. Hopefully it's good.
Well, the check will clear for Brandon Routh, which is nice.
Yeah. I want all the stuff to be good, man. Make good shit.
Yep. True. The Richard says, PJ Maybe, are you one of my real friends? Have we met in person outside of the Matrix?
Not unless you're in Scotland.
There you go.
What's next here? Okay, so Darius is in the house. Saying hail.
Darius, thank you for joining. And PJ also thanks you for joining. Darius to PJ Maybe and the Richard, aloha. And Turge says, Uncle Ben is alive and well. I have him for dinner a couple of times a week. You can't keep a good uncle down. He will always be rice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good joke.
Yeah, that's good.
It was a good joke. The Richard says, hopefully it is Charlie Cox, but whatever. Yeah, it would be nice continuity.
Sure.
Acknowledging the MCU on Netflix. The Richard says, I am super hyped and without fear because we know that this film is part of a majorly film and TV connection. If that's
Spider-Man.
If that's in reference to Daredevil, yeah, that would be. And I'm assuming the without fear is being the Daredevil, the man without fear.
Right.
We will see. We will see. Again, I need something to really jazz me aside from seeing the characters from movies that I already love. Like, there's something about it that is just it's poking me in the back of the head and it won't stop.
Yeah.
The Richard says, check out a very good episode of the PGS, Post Geek Singularity All-Stars, 004, What We Love About Masters of the Universe, Part 4, part of an ongoing series of 12. There is a link in the chat, and it has, absolutely. Go check out the Burr Network, the Post Geek Singularity, and all of the fun stuff that they've got going over there. Has a 8 or 9 part series, 9-part, and it is covering what we love about Masters of the Universe, and it's got the Richard and it's got Bunyan Snipe. It is interesting. While Rob's away, the PGS will play.
That's right.
Terje says, regarding Martini's Gadgets and Guns, I actually saw a Bond movie this afternoon. Got a hankering for The World Is Not Enough. I actually skipped school to see a press screening back in the day.
Wow.
I enjoy The World Is Not Enough. Sophie Marceau is amazing in that flick.
Yes.
Robert Carlyle, great. The Richard, Let's Be Cops. That was good. Got a sequel, Cop Out. Yeah, went down, sadly. It's still fun, though. Shame it worked out the way it did. Yeah, it is one of those tales of just development hell, but not necessarily being pulled back. It's just the production was hell.
Yeah.
The Richard says, Wasabi is one of my effing favorites. I have the original DVD. Love Jean Reno in everything.
Yeah, he's good.
Does that count with Godzilla? And the Richard said, Steve is right. F cancel culture.
F him in the ear hole. I don't care.
Let's cancel culture.
Yeah.
Terje says, good rant. Being offended is like a fart. Keep it to yourself. Absolutely.
Right.
What is that old Lyndon Johnson quote? It's like being offended is like pissing yourself. It means a lot to you, but it doesn't mean anything to anybody else.
Right. Exactly.
And Richard says, love the rando rants, yo.
Yeah, dude. That's why we made that stinger. That's kind of our calling card of mine is rant over.
Yep.
Because it happens. Can't help it.
Terje says, just makes you stink around everyone else if you let loose the cheeks of doom.
That's right.
Agreed.
All right. So that's it for the chat today.
All right. Thank you, Cheeks of Doom.
Yeah. I think that'll do it for us today, Scotty. We're right around the hour mark. Nice, short, simple, sweet little Phantasmagorium show for this Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we got a little excited, but overwhelmed by how much news was coming out of CinemaCon, and we kind of barreled through with laser-like.
Yeah, we did with laser-like precision.
Exactly. So let's. I liked it. It was good. It was.
It was a good show. Good show. Love doing these shows with you, dude.
Yeah.
Good chats. Thanks for being in the chat. Thanks for coming around every day. We'll keep making these as long as you keep watching.
Yeah.
And check out the rest of the stuff that we got going on the channel. Like we said, we got Monday nights we have Set to Stun. Wednesday nights we have Martini's Gadgets and Guns, and Thursday we have Cult Classic Movie Corner. Also, if you want to be on the show this Friday, we have Friday Free for All coming up. So please do that.
Terje says, get Steve Foley's new book, Let's All Go to the Lobby, A Sweet History of Concessions at the Movies.
Yes, please.
And there's a link
please do.
In the chat.
There's a link in the chat, and also it's a good time that I can just do. Yeah, so there's the link.
Yeah, check it out. Definitely.
Yep. And the link is also in the description of this video.
Cool.
Do me a favor. Either get it on Kindle. If you're an unlimited Kindle Unlimited subscriber, it's free. If not, pick it up there. It's also on paperback. If you're somebody who listens to books like I do both. But I do enjoy Audible. If you're looking for an Audible version or an audio version, it will be available sometime next week. And we'll keep you posted. I'll be pimping this book for a long time. I'm super proud of it, and I hope you like it. It's getting some good reviews so far from friendly sources, though. But I'm hoping that they're honest.
Yeah,
and I know yours was. I know you would have said, "Hey, man, this is a piece of garbage," if it was. So,
Yeah. I always feel badly when I have to drop the science, but sometimes it has to happen, Steve. And this was not one of those times. So I'm really jazzed. I was really happy to read it. And it was a really interesting just companion to the history of cinema and seeing or reading about an aspect of cinema history that I hadn't really investigated before. And it was a good read. I recommend it.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I appreciate it. So I think that'll do it for us today, Scotty, unless you have anything else.
Not a thing.
Okay. So for Scotty R37, I am Steve Foley. Have a great day, everybody.
See you guys.